Hey everyone, we are back with a Wild Wednesday, and as you can see, there's nothing in the zoo. Um, I don't know why, but the stream zoo will not load. It crashes the entire game. Last night I went through and turned off all my mods because it was bogging the game down. Um, and for some reason that made two of the zoos I was actively working on crash and being unable to load. So the three areas that I had done, I'm gonna have to redo all of them. So, not awesome, but that's unfortunately where we're at with the stream zoo. I'm unfortunately going to have to completely redo the Arctic area, redo the butterfly and bee area, and redo like the fantasy fairy area. Sucks, but there's nothing that can be done. Just gonna have to roll with it. Yeah. So let's just choose an area to start. I always like to start in the corners. Oops. Just getting used to using this like a multi-select tool, which I realized there was. Took me ages to realize there was a multi-select tool, which would have made my life so much easier. But here we are. So, like I said, we're going to be focusing on. Let me get the thing out. On the Binturong, the Malaysian Tapir, and the Sunbear. Let's go to our little Zoopedia. And look how cute. Look how cute this thing is. It's so cute. And they're also known as the bear cat, which I think is just great. It's so cute. So their scientific name is Arctictis Binturong. They're listed as vulnerable. There are conservation efforts currently going on. Fun fact, they smell like popcorn. And this is due to certain enzymes that they produce and makes them smell like buttered popcorn. It was also for a long time believed that they were strictly herbivores until in captivity the babies only had about a 40% survival rate because the moms kept eating their babies. And then it turned out, oh hey, they actually are omnivorous, like true omnivores, and require meat in their diet. They can't survive on a herbivore diet or else they will commit cannibalism. So, they're definitely neat animals. In Yunnan folklore, there is a beast called the five-legged beast, or Shanghangjing, that is hermaphroditic with 5 legs, which is why they call it the five-legged beast. It is said to be based off of the Binturong, and the reason for that and being called the five-legged beast is because the tail is extremely developed and essentially acts as a 5th leg. The Shanghanji is also said to be able to affect the weather, calling for wind and rain. I wasn't able to find too much about them, unfortunately. Most of what I could find was like brief mentions. So very sad, but it is what it is. But yeah, they live in South and Southeast East Asia. It has a long, stocky body, short legs, and females, unlike most species where the females tend to be smaller, females are actually about 20% larger than males. And the main threats to it currently are habitat loss, degradation, and fragmentation through deforestation. Has declined by 30% since the 1980s. It was also hunted for meat at one time and is a victim of the wildlife trade. It is a protected species in Bangladesh, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam. And then, of course, go to our fun facts. So, Arcticus means a bear weasel. They're an excellent climber, but slow moving, so they don't leap from branch to branch. Very similar to how sloths just kind of like mosey about. That's how they kind of do. They're a very social species. They make purring and clucking noises when happy and wailing when upset. And they are an important seed disperser for the strangler fig because, like, unlike other animals, its digestive system can break through the tough seed shell. So much like how um, squirrels work in like urban places, the Binturong is like the seed disperser. And then their scent glands secrete a substance that smells like popcorn. They're weird little dudes. They're so cute. And in the game, they get enrichment by being housed with the Malayan tapir and the sun bear. So we'll move on to the Malayan tapir. They are endangered. Their scientific name is Tapirus indicus. And there also are conservation efforts going on for all tapirs because most are endangered, verge of extinction, or at least vulnerable. There is a Japanese creature that is most likely based off of the tapir called a baku, and it is a mythological being and spirit that has its origins in Japanese folklore, and it is a creature that has the trunk and tusks of an elephant, eyes of a rhinoceros, body of a bear, and tail of a cow, and it looks almost identical to the Malayan tapir, and it's very possible that these folklore are based off of an older tapir that is now extinct, or one that eventually evolved into the Malayan tapir as we know it now. It has always been a figure in various Asian folklores that is for nightmare prevention. It's also known as the dream eater. It is said that you can summon it to devour your dreams and your nightmares, but if it is not satisfied after eating your nightmares, it will eat your hopes and dreams. So make sure if you're summoning it, you got a lot for it to feed off of, or else it'll just be like, all those good things, also om nom nom. There's also a couple Pokemon that are based off of the Malayan tapir. Drowsy being probably the most well-known one, but also Muna, or Munna, is also based on the Malayan tapir. And let me just... Why is my caps lock on? Please. Do 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 do. Alright, let's... If I... Oh, not that one. That's my... Does this pop up on the stream? No. There you go. I'm trying to get it to show, but it doesn't want to show. That's fine. Yeah, they are cute little creatures. And they're big. Like, they weigh between 550 and over 1,000 pounds. And this is another species that the females tend to be larger. And of course, like many other species, the main threat towards other species is habitation loss through deforestation and the conversion of land for agricultural use. It is a protected species in Malaysia and Indonesia. So, the Malayan tapir is the largest species of tapir. Infants have dark fur with a pattern of white spots and stripes that camouflage them in the undergrowth and the dappling light of the rainforest. They often go for walks along riverbeds, and they can be underwater for up to 90 seconds. They are the only species of tapir that is native to Asia, with all other species living in Central and South America. And its vision is very poor, and they rely mainly on scent and hearing to navigate their surroundings. And they get enrichment from a whole host of animals. So they can live with the Binturong, the Bornean orangutan, the Indian elephant, and the proboscis monkey. So we're just going to go to the Binturong so we can get to the sun bear. Oh, where's my little thing? Where's my thing? There we go. So its scientific name is Tos Malayanus, and it is considered vulnerable. I wasn't able to find really much about them in folklore, unfortunately. All I could actually find was that, according to legend, the patch resembles the rising sun, hence the name Sunbear. I couldn't find the original legend, where it comes from, nothing. So that sucks. And I just realized I forgot to say some stuff on the Malaysian Tapir, because they also exist in Chinese folklore, and is known as Mo. It is a mythological creature that is a combination of cow and horse, elephant, tiger. It very much again resembles the tapir, and is known as the Megmo or Mo, which translates to dream tapir, and Mo is often used for the word for tapir. Paintings of this creature became a popular motif in folding scenes during the Tang Dynasty, and it was believed to be benevolent. It was credited with warding off evil and pestilence and keeping away your nightmares. So, back to the sun bear. Like I said, I couldn't actually find any myths or legends. I could just find this one reference, unfortunately. Something, at least when I was a teen, sun bears were in the news a lot. And that's due to how big the bear bile trade is. And that is one of the biggest threats to the sun bear. So the use of bear bile in traditional medicine has been used for ages. It was actually first described in the year 659 during China's Tang Dynasty. And it's still very popular and still prescribed throughout China and mainland Asia, despite attempts to replace it with synthetic bile. Bear bile is prescribed to treat a range of ailments, including hemorrhoids, sore throats, sprains, epilepsy, fever, inflammation, and to clear the liver of toxins. And unlike other traditional medicines, there is evidence. Well, they say unlike other traditional medicines generally work. And there is evidence that bear bile does actually treat these things. However, research has shown that you can get the same results, if not better, with synthetic bile. So there is no reason for actual bear bile to be used. The farming of sun bears and other bear species to collect their bile began in on a larger commercial scale in the 1970s, and was initially sanctioned by the Chinese government as a conservation measure to help protect wild bears from hunting. By the mid-1990s, as many as 10,000 bears were being commercially farmed for bile in China. By the early 2010s, these bear bile farms were getting a lot of international attention put on them for how they were treating the bears. They were often kept in small cages with just a line going into the bile that would into the liver that would continuously drip, meaning the bear couldn't actually properly digest its own food, as none of the bile was actually going into the digestive tract. Documentaries about places who are saving these bears started really popping up. Unfortunately, it is still quite the issue. They are a very small species of bear that lives in Southeast Asia, and they're most easily identified by that beautiful moon shape on their chest. And though it says it is threatened by habitat destruction through deforestation, agricultural land conversion, often palm oil plantations, it does mention they are also hunted for body parts that are used in traditional medicine, with the bile from the liver and the gallbladder being particularly sought after. The current population is unknown, but the numbers are currently decreasing from what we have. Many of the areas they live in are protected, but unfortunately there's still a lot of illegal deforestation. So unlike many other bears, sun bears are born bland and hairless, which is actually pretty common in the mammalian world, mainly with more domesticated species. So it's really interesting to just see that. Sun bears are also known as honey bears because of their love of honey and their habit of breaking open beehives to get it and just not giving a fuck. They also have a super long tongue. It is 8 to 10 inches long, and it uses that tongue to extract insects and honey. And sunbears can copy each other's facial expressions, which is considered a primate-like behavior. And one of the things that is like when testing sentience in an animal is one of the things that they test for is can the animal recognize and mimic different facial expressions. Sunbears can do that. So they are also a very highly intelligent and emotionally intelligent species. So, with all of that said and done, we shall be moving on. I just close all the stuff I don't need anymore. I have a couple reference photos that I'm going to be looking at to build a super awesome enclosure for these 3 species. So let's look at what their requirements are, and of course we always go with what the highest is. So sunbears need lots of space, and they also need climbing space. They also need the fence to be at least basically 10 feet tall and be grade 4 and climb proof. Grade 2 and climb proof at 10 feet. So far we're at grade 4 fence with 10 feet. They also have climbing requirements, not as much space requirements. And then if we go to the Malayan tapir, they need a grade 3 and 6.6, so we're going to go with 10 and 4. They also need quite a bit of space, and they need swimming space. Not deep water, but they do have water requirements. And then we should also look at the biomes: aquatic, tropical, temperate, tropical and temperate, and then tropical, temperate. So the big overlap is tropical and temperate, so that's what the type of plants we're going to be using from Asia. So let's first get sort of a central hub for our zookeepers to be in. Yeah, that looks good. And since this is our India section, I also got rid of basically all the blueprints from the Steam store, as they were bogging down my game as well. And it's supposed to be like you can place it in your zoo, unsubscribe from the workshop, and it will still exist in your zoo. That's one of the reasons why my game crashed, and I used so many pieces that I could not physically go through and find them again. So I'm just not using blueprints anymore, because if I need to clear out stuff, I don't want my whole zoo to be ruined. So we're just going to use base game stuff and build our own. Which, I mean, is fine. The base game stuff has some beautiful stuff. If we go with theme, they have a whole Indian theme, and look at how stunning these are. I'm going to quickly look at how many animals are going to be in. Did I close that? I did. Excel, open up so I can count how many animals are put in this section. So that'll just let me know if I need to do big or small versions. And so we have 1, 2, 3 multi-species enclosures, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual enclosures, and then there is 1 dedicated exhibit. So yeah, we definitely need large versions, and we're gonna have to hire a lot of staff, which is fine. Game, do not freeze. How dare you? There we go. Alright, so look at how gorgeous this is. Like, can we just admire all the details for a moment? Look at how absolutely stunning. Okay. Let's actually start placing this stuff. And of course we can also do like smaller areas if need be, because this is going to be a larger section. So we'll do big keeper hut there, a nice large quarantine. Might have to decorate this building a little more. It's a little plain. Beautiful research center. a large staff room for all of our staff to come and chill. And I actually think I also want to do a smaller one in here too. And then we need a trade center, which like, they went all out on this trade center. Have our little trade center here. And then of course we need our veterinary, which I'm just going to put off like that. And then lastly we need our workshop. What? Okay, so we have our buildings. I'm just going to get the configuration a little better because we also need parts for like paths to go out. So we're just going to adjust this, get our general pathing, and then I'll like decorate this really nice and all that off stream. Actually, a little over so there can be a path there. Oops. No, that's fine. A path there. There we go. Oh, I also need to... Settings. I forgot to do my settings specifically for the zoo. Oh, sorry, sandbox. Okay, and then... So much slower. I do want the babies. I do want babies. Babies are cute. Actually no. Babies are cute, but like they require so much extra management. Okay. No, max guests. Okay, maximize education. Increase guest stay to do. Power everything. Apply. Okay, cool. We got it good. For this one, I think I want to use the red path. I think it just looks nicer. We're gonna do a little longer. And I think for this one, I want, because I started off doing 4-meter longs, and I found that that was just too small in a lot of areas, and once the zoo is actually open, would cause a lot of congestion. So I'm going to start using 5 for, for like the staff areas, especially if it's areas that are going to have a lot of staff, like this. And then also probably going to do 6-meter paths for anywhere guests are going to be. Okay, cool. So that is the general layout. Now we're going to get some paths going out. And there. There it is. There is our staff area. All right, so we know we need a big enclosure. And it has to be at least 4, so we can't use our normal 2-way. We're going to have to use a mixture of the thick glass and then the brick. So we're going to use the brick in areas where guests aren't going to see. And so I'm just going to quickly map out sort of where... that, then I can also make these longer. What am I doing? Like, super long. Long. Oh, come on, game. Stop being difficult. I got toast shoved in my mouth. I'm realizing I'm not leaving room for a path here. I'm like a dum-dum. Okay, game, please. Are you giving me way too many issues today in the past, like, week? Alright. So from, like, here... And then I want to put a little concession area over here, I think. And then we're going to bring this in before bringing it back out. And so we're going to do like a two-parter area. So let me just... Because that's going to be like that. That's decided. But then I think I want to do this like... maybe. That should be big enough. That's pretty huge now that I think about it. Okay, let's add our staff gate. Perfect, excellent. And then we need to make this 10 feet tall. We're having no escaping in my zoo. There we go, 10 feet tall. So guess we'll be able to see all the way through here. There'll be a like concession and rest area here. I'll be able to continue on along here. Cool. So I wonder... Go movies. Okay, so this is over big. Over 10,000 square feet. So we definitely did large enough. We do need a water area. So, and these animals live in like mountainous rainforest areas. So we also need to now do our terrain. So let's get our terrain going. And I just noticed this path is now redundant. No path for you. Go away. Okay. So I was looking at some pictures of Malaysia and what the typical habitats of these animals are. And so we're going to do this in stages. First, we're going to get our landscaping. Then we're going to do our water. Then we're going to do our ground cover, our hardscaping, which is like the rocks and fallen trees. Then the foliage, or like the ground cover. And then sort of just like build the layers up from there. So, first off, I need to figure out where the water is going to be. And I think what I want to do is right here, do a waterfall that comes out. So first we need to pull up the land so you can create the initial water food. And then we are going to have to heighten. Oh, they won't be able to get up here, so we don't have to change the height of this at all. So we're going to do that. I need to make this smaller. And then just indent this all very slightly. It's probably easier if I do a flattened foundation. Yeah, flattened to foundation is always so much easier. Okay, so we have that. Then just a little more. And that should hold water? No, that's too low. Okay, 1 second. Make that more like that, and then smooth everything out. Oh, that was the wrong thing. That was the wrong brush. Smooth everything out for a more natural look. Obstructed, obstructed. Grumble noises. These are the noises of grumbles. Alright, let's just make that lip a little more prominent. That's the issue right here. Okay. Build that up. Carve it out. Smooth it over so it looks more natural. And hopefully we can put water in. Water? Water! Top of our waterfall is now done. Excellent. I think it's in... Is it in... Waterfall? Not in there. Is it in constructions? Yep. Okay. That is too small. That is better. And what we're going to do is we are going to just merge the two, right? So we're going to... like that. And we're going to cover these like outline areas with nature. Make them look less awful. And then it comes down again. This section is going to come like that. And there are actual waterfall effects that we can put that we can help mask this area too. Before we get going making it pretty, let's actually get the base done. So I'm now just going to push that in, do a flatten to foundation, and start carving out their water area. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to make it a little deeper for more proper swimming in. Right in here. And then we're going to smooth everything out so that it looks a lot more natural. Alright, make sure our water can go. Perfect. Before we actually put our water though, I want to get the painting tool. We're going to have very heavy soil up here. And sort of in these areas where it's more heavy soil and rock, because that's not going to get eroded away. And then down in this area, we're going to have where the lighter soil collects. We have a nice little gradient here. Again, all over this rough rock. And then my favorite thing to do is just to quickly go over with the short grass, because when it is mixed in like this, and is more sparse, I'll have to just go over and layer a little bit better. It looks like mossy, like grass in that, and I think that looks really lovely. So we're just going to now dull that out a little bit, dull that out up here, and look at how mossy that looks. We can put our water back, and now if we zoom in and actually go under the water, ah, perfection. It did get rid of the grass. I'm upset about that. Let me redo the grass. Give me my underwater grass. There. Paint that like so. Redo the heavy soil area. And now, okay, now if we go under, you can see what I'm talking about, how it looks mossy. It doesn't look like grass, it looks like moss and algae. Moss! I really like it. Okay, so now we need to get the rest of our terrain done. And then we can figure out sort of where we're going to put their shelters, where we're going to put their various enrichment things, and then we can decorate it. So yeah, so let's figure out our terrain. Where was this? God damn it, Willow, stop taking things off my altar. Anyways. Animals are being held these days. Okay, so we're going to start by roughening up this terrain. A handy dandy terrain rougher upper. I'm not going to do anything too extreme, too severe, nothing like that. Just a bit of like hilliness and rockiness. Cool, now we're going to smooth everything and get rid of those like weird, really harsh angles and dips and just make it look more weathered, more natural, more like piles of rocks and organic matter and less like hacked out of the earth. It's like that. Yeah. It's just there we go. Alright, and we got a nice hilly landscape now with a nice waterfall and a nice little like pond lake area. So next is to decide shelters and climbing, because 2 have climbing requirements. I also see what sort of enrichments they need, because there's some that are quite big, like this beaver pool, like the water pool. Those are bigger enrichments that need a lot of space. So we're going to start with our Binturong. So they need a forage box enrichment, and then we're going to do a tree forager. And I can just do that, and now we have everything pulled up for our lovely little babies. So let's do a food tray right here. For enclosures, I'm going to make a custom rock enclosure and then just put the bedding down. Alright, let's find a semi, because it will flatten the terrain around it, so I'm trying to look for like flat-ish areas. Let's do that one here. And then for toys, I love the rubber duckies. They are probably one of my favorites, so we'll put the rubber ducky. Huh? Oh, I thought my partner was saying something to me. Nothing beats a good cardboard box. Bark rubbing pads. Yeah, this can be the rubbing pad area. Can I actually... Ah, rubbing pad area, nice. And let's give them a really cute, colorful ball to play with as well. And then let's do just like a herb scent marker that they can find. We'll just hide it over here. Okay, so I guess so used to doing mod animals where you can't just look up the tag. Now we're gonna do Sunbear. Oh. Sunbear. Because yeah, this another big beaver pool. So let's do that over here. That looks nice. Look how cute that is. We're gonna do this cute hammock, like in the water. I think would be cool. A rubbing pillar in our like scratching post area. A water pool. We'll do a water pool in the water pool. Let's do the water pool like right here where guests will really be able to see. And then some Wimby chimes. And I think I will be putting tamarins in here. Or tamarins, rather. Let's just put a couple of those trees. Alright, and now let's get into the climbing. They need a lot of climbing, that's for sure. And it's nice because it can just kind of blend in. So we can do like that. There's also climbing frames for big animals, which I would love. Let's do it kind of over the water. Yeah, yeah. Right. Oh, that. 1 second. I gotta. Whoop. There we go. And let's look at now the stats of the enclosure. So there is plenty of water. There is so much water. Okay. We are very good on that. Okay. So let's go back to habitat. And let's just put in a couple more cool climbing frames. This one also has like a little like sleepy area. I didn't mean to copy. There we go. Move that down a little lower. And I kind of like that it's like half in. Looks very ingrained. I like that. Sweet. 1 or 2 climbing things, and then we'll be going on to the start of making the like shelter, and then we'll go into decorating. Well, I like this one. I do like this one. Let's do that one right there. Perfect. And I want to do this big one. No, because I don't want them to go, like, be able to go up here. Because I was like, ooh, could do that. But then they'll just escape. So I think that is good. So the last thing to look at now is the Malaysian Tapir. Let me just look up Tapir. There we go. I need the Malaysian Tapir. Malaysian Tapir. There we go. Okay. So we already have a forage box enrichment. We can do this little spike tree, like right there. And then they like the large barrel feeder. It says large, not very large. Let's put that sort of in with that. For toys, we already got the box. We got the herb scent marker. We got the rubber ducky. We got the rubbing pad. We have the tree. We have the ball. So let's add a plant screen. Like right here where people can really see. And then I always love the interactions animals have with the sprinklers. So I think like a sprinkler near the pool I think would be cute. And then also like one over here. Cool. So now we have all the enrichments for all the animals. Our next thing to do is to go into nature. And y'all already know the drill. We're going to select just Asia. Then we're going to go tropical and temperate. And go to rocks. Because we're going to build them a cool little hidey shelter just right sort of against this part. So we got a lot of mossy stones. We have some temperate rocks. We have some tropical rocks. I'm going to use tropical dynamic mossy and just mossy for this. So first I'm going to sort of decide sort of where it's going to go and sort of put the supports in place, so to speak. So I want it to come out that far. And we're going to smooth this area out a little bit too. Like that. And like that. And then we're going to put like that. So let me just smooth out this terrain. Just, ooh, that's way too big. Just gonna smooth this stuff out just a little bit. And then bam, again, did not mean to do that. Like that. There we go. That's the button I wanted to hit. With enclosures I've been building for the like videos, I've been really working on like more dynamic, more creative. I had a formula, but it was very like generic. I joined the like official Planet Discord, and then there's also like a fan one that I joined, and the fan one has been fantastic. But I just like super welcoming and awesome, and people like there's such talented builders and people who will literally spend like months on like just a small section and put hours and hours and hours. Like there are some people that have thousands of hours, and like I thought I had a lot with almost 500. Nothing compared to some of these other folks who have been playing for massive amounts of times consistently since this came out in 2019. So it's like, oh, inspiring. But okay, so this is sort of like, those are the support pillars, or going to be the support pillars. This is going to have a little walkout area. So let me get, that's going to be mossy as shit. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower it. Yeah, and then we're going to blend it in. We're just going to do a couple different configurations of these rocks. Get that nice layered effect going. And now they have this sort of shallower walkout area from what's going to be their safe space, essentially. Since this is right by the water, I want to use the dynamic mossy stones. That's way too thick. Do the mossy stones have pillars? Okay, they do. That way we can just do that and yeet the non-mossy ones. Perfect. We're going to go back up to the dynamic. Come on, come on, come on. Behave. No, you're not going to behave for me. Fine. That's fine. We're just going to do this then. Sort of plan out roughly where we want them. And then advanced move is my best friend. There we go. How does that look from the bottom? That looks good. Okay, cool. And now it creates like a little fancy entrance, also sun area for them. Make sure we're merging those rocks nicely. And then we're going to duplicate and move. Oh, okay. This is where the angles come in. Angles? Yeah, okay. We'll fill in this little area here with rocks, so we'll be able to blend that just fine. So now we have their like entrance-y part done. Let's fill in this with rocks. So we're going to use these really cool dynamic rocks. If I can get... There we go. Forgot to not do that. We're going to start by sinking them in. I should probably start with the mossy because it's right by the water. Okay. I wonder if I can change it so I can actually see that area in sun. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to start out by just doing the big blocks. Okay. Then we just slowly merge, fill in. And eventually, we get something that starts to look actually pretty half decent. Let's put... a big one. Okay, so we're gonna have to... big one on the bottom as a base. I also have the habit of like clipping through the enclosure and never keeping anything in the enclosure. It's just what it is. Eventually I'll get better at my placements. So how is everyone today? What have folks been up to? I know Night Thought said watching a movie. What movie were you watching if you are comfortable enough sharing? I got shit done today. Surprisingly, I like woke up and I was like, I have energy, get everything done. So I got just a bunch of stuff done. Feeling really good, feeling really accomplished. Really happy with it. I'm trying to like keep myself more accountable and make sure stuff is actually being caught up. And I have found that like making a list of stuff that absolutely needs to be done today, like it needs to be done, and just focusing on that list really helps focus my energy and really helps actually like properly get shit done. Ooh, Matrix Resurrections, nice. My partner actually introduced me to the Matrix series. I had not watched it, and so sat me down and was like, we're watching it all. I'm sorry to hear you have to deal with a whole bunch of crap. That's never fun. Oh, dogs have beans. I hear them. Okay. I just wanted to start like hardscaping this area because it will affect the rest of it. But I'm pretty happy with how that's looking so far. Still looking rough. Like, make no mistake, it's still looking heckin' rough. But can start to like see the vision. See where I'm going with this. Let's also get some of these dynamic rocks up in here. Is that like the newest one? Because I think I heard something they came out with like another one. If that's like the newest one yet, I have not seen like the newest one. I've seen every single other one. You know, I just realized I think I forgot to post the poll for this week's movie night. Oops. Oh well. Oh, there's been so much stuff going on and like being injured. Everything. Like I'm just trying to get caught up back on life. Oh. So, Night Thought, you missed that our original zoo completely crashed. And after multiple attempts and multiple fixes and everything, it could not, I could not load the zoo, is essentially what happened. And so we have to completely restart from scratch. So I have to redo all 3 areas that I finished in my downtime. It's it is what it is. Yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah, so I went through and because of the mods I had were really bogging down the game, and I was like, why am I having all these mods I'm not using loading in? I'll just turn them all off. And turning off all the mods except for the ones I turned off, I didn't turn off the better albino and melanistic animals, the better alligator and crocodile textures, and then the thing that like actually allows the mods to run, I left those on. And I even tried like turning my mods back on, and my games like it still just kept continuously crashing. Something about the mods and like the stuff from the workshop just not meshing well, and so yeah, unfortunately I have to completely rebuild the entire Arctic area, bee and flower area, and fantasy area. And so I'm not using any workshop stuff anymore, and I'm only turning on mods when I am using them for recording. Besides, like the better the melanistic and albino animals, because I would like to find them for our the stream zoo, and like the more colorful crocodilians, because I would like pretty animals for our zoo. Besides that, they're all turned off, and they're not being turned on unless specifically recording. Then I'm deleting that zoo and turning off the mod, because turned out if you use a mod animal, and then even if you no longer have that mod animal in your zoo and you turn the mod off, it will crash your game. So yeah, everything is script mods. So everything is like scripted and coded. Like brand new code. Lots of them don't use any of the in-game coding. It's all custom code in that. And like custom behavior and stuff. So yeah, fuck my life. But the original zoo, unfortunately, yeah, it is what it is. I'll rebuild it in my spare time and keep y'all updated as it gets built. I'm probably not going to do the bee area or like the magical area, because that was mainly using workshop items, which again also was the issue. You're supposed to be able to like put stuff in your zoo, unsubscribe from it in the workshop, and it'll still stay in your zoo because the coding is still there. And apparently I just used too many. So yeah, between mods and workshops, haven't had a great time trying to get Zoo Tycoon to work how I want it. Or not Zoo Tycoon, Planet Zoo. Also, I was so okay. Update on the Zoo Tycoon remastered. It is so it's so shit. Like they essentially made Zoo Tycoon the mobile game ripoff, and then went, here's a remastered game. It was so fucking shit. Like I couldn't even build like they don't allow you to actually like set down the enclosures. They have set sizes. You can't change like the foliage in it. You have a limited amount of enrichment and food areas. Like if an animal needs 4 different types of foods, but there's only 2 different food spots that they allow you to put food in, your animals will get seized from neglect and your zoo will be shut down. And also like you have to go into like zookeeper mode where you have a little zookeeper avatar and actually go and like physically clean the enclosures and give them food. So it just I played it for a couple hours and went, nope, not happening. All right, back to actually building the enclosures. I'm just bitching. Let's start building the roof. I like these thick rocks for the roof because they give a nice flat top. But also, again, have that nice thickness to them so you can merge other rocks on top for like dynamic purposes or like second levels. And they just merge really nice. So I'm going to use that for the majority of this roof. Gotta do it just a little bit, and there we go. So that's essentially what the top's gonna look like. It's just like that. So let's just bonk. Get these like in place. Cool. Now you can just occasionally rotating so it isn't super repetitive. Fill in all the spots really nicely. There is also like a couple mod handling similar to how there is Stampy for handling all the mods in Stardew. There is one called Ace for Planet Zoo, and that's what most mods run off of. There are a couple that don't, that the modders just don't use Ace. I actually had one of those. Like, it's a brand new species that just came out too. I was trying to record a video for the Chinese water crocodile because it's this cute little water crocodile that lives in like with a whole bunch of other alligators. It's not a very solitary species, so it'd be like a really interesting crocodile to film. And every time they tried to put the animal down, it crashed my game. So I couldn't even load it into my game, and that one had just come out. So there's a little bit of hiccups and bumps that the modding community needs to figure out. Also, I realized one of the reasons I was having so many behavior issues and other issues with some of the species I've been doing was because they're for 1.8 and Planet Zoo is currently at 1.9. So because it is not up to date, it was causing glitches. Because, of course. So I'm waiting for modders to update their those mods that they've done. And some have done literal hundreds that they now have to update and are continuously coming out with new ones every week. So like, these modders. It's like a full-time job. I appreciate it because of all the pretty animals, and I want to recreate the Edmonton Valley Zoo. And so every time I see one that's in the Edmonton Valley Zoo that's not in the base game, it hasn't been modded yet, that gets uploaded, I'm like, yay, I'm one step closer. So like, hopefully I'll be able to remake the Edmonton Valley Zoo. But also now a lot of my like downtime is going to be taken via fixing, redoing all the fucking zoo. Okay. It is what it is. Do I love this rock there? I don't like that rock there. I want a taller one. There we go. That's the type of rock I want. Okay. So we have this main entrance area. They can come in. And look how cozy this is. Look how cozy. And like it's not super tall, but that's because all of our animals are also like smaller. So it's nice. It's cozy. I'm going to cover up these like little ones with bigger rocks, put down all the bedding, and then we'll be ready to make up here a little more dynamic and not so flat and boring to look at. And then we'll be done the shelter for all of our cute critters. I'm very excited. Is it weird? Like I want to smell the popcorn bear. And that's what I'm going to refer to them as the popcorn bear now. Because even though I looked at a million different pronunciation guides, they also all gave me different answers for how the fuck do you pronounce Binturong. Some were like Binturong. Some were like Binturong. I'm like, how the fuck do you say it? The pronunciation guides aren't helping. That's what it is. So, popcorn bear. I want to smell one. I want to smell the weird popcorn bear. Seems very delightful. And I'm surprised they are semi-common in like the exotic pet trade, which seems really weird to me. But then again, like most things in the pet trade, I'm like, why would you ever want that? I also have seen them in videos for like exotic zoos. All I know is I just want to smell one and be like, yes, does indeed smell like popcorn. I think that'd be fun. I bet they're also really soft. Like I have nothing to base this off of other than they look soft. No, fuck. I want merged rocks. There we go. Another thing I've been working on is like rock layering and making the layered rocks look more natural and all that good stuff. So like, I hope y'all notice the improvement, especially in, that's what I wanted. What do I want? I don't know. I want this one, but align to surface. I hope y'all have noticed that like there is more work being put into like, especially, it's not gonna work, especially like the videos that I have been making. Super wiry, but they look like they would be so soft. I want a soft little popcorn. Soft, weird little popcorn bear. That's all I want. Okay, cool. That one has a little too much. What do I need? I need one of the mossy rocks. So I can... Okay, yeah, that looks more natural. Perfecto. We just got one more to do. Like, look it. I want to pet it and get popcorn smell. So cute. Oh, I'm a little bit tired already. What the frick? But again, my sleep schedule has been really weird. Like, I'm not getting to sleep until quite goddamn late. And then I'm waking up super early. Like, body, what if we could get more than just like 4 hours of sleep? 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Although, last night was better, we'll admit. Last night, I ended up getting like 6 hours of sleep, so. Pew. I need a mossy one. The mossy rocks. There, how does that look from the inside? Perfect! So, okay, so, oops. Here is our, like, basically completed except for, like, detailing. Done. Habitat. Sleepy sleeps. Do we want to do leaves or straw? I feel leaves. I normally go leaves with anything more tropical. Just because I feel like it blends better in with the environment. But this also just might be too much green. Do we want to just go, like, it is, we are doing a rainforest. So it makes sense to go heavy on the green. And actually, all this is right now really rocky, so let's just do like some short grass so we can actually see how it realistically is going to look like. Beautiful, stunning, excellent, green. So we have that bedding. So the issue with mixing is they generally just don't mesh well. Like, and layering them, because the leaves are so much flatter, in order to get it actually like level with the ground so that there's not this weird layer, like leaves just hovering above the ground. Because like even if I, so, like, in order to get it like see, so you can't actually really see the leaves, they just kind of poke out, which I guess could be a look. It could be a whole look. Okay, let's start with some extra large bedding. Let's see if this actually works out. Oh, okay, there we go. I can't turn off flatten terrain either for the bedding, which is annoying. But I mean, that is what it is. Keep it away from the entrances. Oh my god, we're on top. We're on the roof. Okay, so that is the straw. Now let's see how we can... There might be a look. I actually do really like how that looks. I didn't think I would. But really does play into that rainforest, and green takes over. I actually, oh, that was such a good suggestion. Because that's something I was like, I don't think it looks good. I actually think it looks good. Thank you for that. Awesome. Okay. Let's do the top of this now. Let's just get the sun in a more favorable position. Like that. Love that I can just like, whoop, 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 whoop. Reminds me of those montages in movies where the days and nights are going by really quickly and they're like, it reminds me of that. Okay, so we're gonna keep with a little flatter rocks, but we are just going to, again, just make it a little more dynamic, a little less flat, a little less boring. Really go big with the details so that we have a really visually interesting enclosure. Right? I'm trying to do that whole level up of my skills. Also, news. My hand lawn mower still works even after being outside all fucking winter. The blades and everything still work fine. So, yay. I was kind of worried about that. I was worried that I was going to go to mow and it's going to be like, That's why I went with the thick rocks and why I'm using shallow rocks. There's nothing. Which I have in a couple done where the top rocks actually push through to create like a more cave-like top. And it looks really neat. But yeah, that's not what I want for this. Which is why I'm specifically not going with like the bigger rocks. That even though like this one, it has a really flat top. But if I were to sink that to where I need it, oops, watch your head. All right, I think just a little bit more, and the top looks really good. We can put like trees off of it and vines and make it look really cool. Yeah, I like that. Has lots of areas for them to exit and go. Oh, we do need to... Up here, we need to put the little... Just put some leaves up here. There, that way they will actually go and nap there. All right. I wonder. I just want to like check something real quick. I can just make this whole thing. Okay. I know how I'm going to do swamps now. Because like, hello? Perfect swamp? Perfect swamp? Like, what? That looks like the perfect swampy area. Okay. So I'm getting a little excited when I discover how I can use things and like level up my skills. I get very excited. So yeah, so that is our shelter area now. Let's finish let's finish this poor and very rough shape. Rough shape. Oh, this poor thing. I do want a layer of rocks sticking out because like I said, there are waterfall effects that we can use so that it looks like the water is actually tumbling down these rocks into the water below without having to use these pre-built Waterfalls, the word I just used. I swear I have a brain. It just doesn't work very well. Okay, cool. That looks pretty solid. I just want to add maybe like a couple more bigger support rocks. I said bigger. Like here. Because then, yeah, then we have that little cool area. This needs a bit more rocks. Just a wee little bit of rocks. And then, yeah, we're going to have stuff growing out of these cracks and crevices. And it's going to look awesome. It's going to look amazing. I'm very excited. I put in probably about 10 hours just decorating the Japanese giant salamander enclosure I did for, you know, a 20-minute video. But I'm definitely noticing that by putting the time and effort and knowing, okay, I have all these videos pre-made, I can take my time with this one now that I'm going down to 3 videos a week for my uploading schedule. I can really take my time and do that and figure out what makes things look better, what makes things look more realistic, more dynamic, visually interesting. How much effort do I actually have to go through? Because I put all this effort into making this amazing lush jungle from the bottom to the top of the canopy. I don't think you see all the vines I did once in the entire video because they are so small and so close to the ground and smaller than the ferns. You never actually see most of the details I put in. So, you know, I'm learning, okay, maybe I don't need to go ham on a tiny little creature that, you know, most of the enclosure is not going to be visible. At least when recording. But again, going ham also, again, helps me practice my skills. Like, I've started building these custom enclosures instead of using pre-built ones, or using pre-built and then adding on to them. So it's like, I'm leveling up, I'm learning, I'm trying to learn from all the freaking insane people who there. So I learned, okay, so there is a Planet Coaster, and there's like actual lore and canon and like for Planet Coaster, and people write fan fiction and comics. Like, what? Amazing, incredible, and everyone's super nice. Like, it's very rare that you join a fandom and everyone's just like, oh hey, what's up? Yes, I'm so happy you're here. The Planet fandom is just very wholesome, I'm finding out. Which, like, woo, I like wholesome fandoms. I like finding people who aren't jerks. I'm so used to, like, League of Legends and fucking D&D Discord servers that are all trash. Align to the surface. Tanks. Okay, now I can go in with like a bigger rock and just not align to surface and not position. There we go. Just sink. Like. No, not the right rock for this. This rock. But I have to use a little rock. That's fine. Where is a tiny rock? There we go. So again, you can kind of start seeing the vision. Let's finish up here. Oh. There we go. Have some dirt here. I think I want to cover this up with rocks, maybe. No. Ooh, maybe like the temperate, or the, not the temperate, the tropical rocks. Ooh, that's way too big. Too big. Let's like kind of peek them out. Like that. Oh, yeah. Too big. I haven't used the tropical rocks much, so. I've used the mossy rocks so much. So I filmed a whole video for an extinct species of crocodile, only to realize I had still my Toss Up Tuesday settings on, which turns like the computer sounds down a lot, so none of the sounds were recorded except for the last 4 minutes of 30 minutes of footage I did. I was very sad. I was very sad. But I have a folder currently going of animals that like were glitching out too much for me to make a full-length video. Stuff went wrong in recording, so I didn't get much viable footage. Or I started recording and realized the animals are boring and make no sounds. So they're just they can't make a full-length, like even like a 10-minute video on their own. And so I have all those saved. And once I have enough footage to like maybe do like a 45-minute, an hour-long video, I'm just gonna like mash them all together, edit them all together and splice them together, and make essentially just like here's all my fail footage of species. Have fun. So I don't know how often that will be happening. I think I have like, I think I have about 15 minutes total of good footage from like five or six videos that I tried to do. There's also some that like it didn't work out and I deleted them, and I was like, oh, I should have saved those for a mishmash video, which is fine. But yeah, so every so often I will be releasing just like, and it'll be random. It'll be like, there's no set schedule or anything for that, because it's literally just like when I have enough failed footage. And now I'm currently starting to record and film and like do all the prep work for July. So I have July's first videos done. It's July 2nd, I think. Or June 2nd. It's June 2nd, June 5th, and then the 8th. So, going to be doing the Formoso black bear for Black Bear Day. I'm also doing European ground squirrels and fallow deer. I really have been liking doing the multi-species enclosures, and I have a couple more coming out. That is looking very jungly. I do have to say, it's not even done. But yeah, what's the current schedule? See, y'all who come to stream get the information. Oh, and then so sorry, it's June, right? June 1st, then June 4th is the Formosa black bear. June 6th is the European ground squirrel and fallow deer. June 11th is the African forest elephant. I think one of the ones I'm actually most excited for is not until mid next month is when it's going to come out, but the horseshoe crab. I think it's going to be awesome. I think I figured out a way to do like the like aquatic animals. There's a video coming out tomorrow, I believe, or today, of the otter. And you use a whole bunch of fish. I didn't realize that the fish were coded to be able to go on land, so you just see fish like hopping on land every so often. So it's beautiful underwater visuals with all these different fish and these giant otters swimming among this fish, and then just dirty, it's so derpy on land footage. And I decided to keep it because I thought it was so funny. But I think I figured out a way to actually properly do like the horseshoe crab, and if that goes well, I'll be able to start taking requests for things like porpoises and dolphins and whales and sharks and like marine animals. If I can actually properly figure it out so that, you know, they don't glitch on land and hop around all derpy like. Oh, it's so funny. So good. Also, for those that haven't noticed, the videos come out at 5 p.m. every day during the week, and then they come out at noon on the weekends. And that's just because the Sleepy Sunday stream is at 5, and I don't want people to feel torn about like, oh, the video premiered, I want to watch it. Because like, when a video first comes out, the amount of engagement it gets right away is really important. I know a couple folks have been like making sure they are watching it, and I have noticed that my engagement within the first 30 minutes has been going up, so I just want to say thank you for all those who have been like watching my videos within the first 30 minutes of them coming out. You have no idea how much that means to me. Every time I see like, oh, look at this new video you broke is now your number one, or like this one is now your number one video. I'm like, oh, people like it. I also noticed that like, even though I updated my graphics and did high graphics for both of my recording and Planet Zoo, that my videos were actually coming out very pixelated and grainy. And I think I fixed that. It was an issue with my what form I was exporting it in. It actually has a specific YouTube format or like export setting to maximize it for YouTube. So the Japanese giant salamander is the first video where I've exported it using the Facebook optimization exporting feature. So hopefully you'll actually be able to see all the amazing details and it not be fuzzy as shit and low quality, even though I'm recording in, you know, pretty high definition. Like, I have everything, like, even my settings here. If you go into my settings, my graphics, they're all high, ultra high. Except for, like, a couple things. Because it doesn't actually make it look better. And bugs out, just legs it too much. But, like, I have everything that needs to be really high to make, like, beautiful water. Look at how it shimmers. And, like, ooh, dirt texture. I have done. So when I noticed that my videos were, once they were posting to YouTube, the quality was absolutely murdered. Oh, I was so upset. So sad. So hopefully now I've more figured out the video editing software I'm using, which is called Shortcut. It is free and you can get it through GitHub. It is has been absolutely fantastic. It is the easiest to learn, but like with any new software, has a learning curve. Is how I would describe it. But it's completely free and has all the like crazy features and awesome features, and You can export stills, you can export just the audio, you can export the footage into, I think, over 30 different formats, including like a specific one just for YouTube. So it has a lot of features that a lot of the bigger ones do that, you know, will charge you out the arse for. Need to hide that. But it's completely free. So, woo. I wanted to check how the water was like flowing in and interacting with things, and yeah, that's what I was worried about, is that you could see the bottom animation. Can't see it here because it's all covered and it looks very pretty. But we're gonna have to just adjust these rocks some rocks very slightly, other rocks not so much. One of my favorite things to do when I need to like add is there is a duplicate and advance move, so I can just boop, boop. I find it helps create more realistic layering when I need it. That's the same rock. Oops. Okay, we're just gonna have to add. There we go. Let's see how that's looking. You can see very faintly right there, but that's going to be covered anyways with a different animation, so that doesn't matter. You, on the other hand, you problem child, what do you think you're doing? Looking horrendous with this bottom animation when the water's down here. Actually, while I'm doing this, where's my midsection? So see, like, look at how cool that looks. And then we can do and look at how good that looks. I gotta hide this, but like, whoop, go away, go hide. I don't want you. Are you still in the water? Oops, shit. Zoom to, I also changed my camera so I have a little more like control over the angles and that for like filming. Oh my, I just fucked up. And that's not what I meant to do. And I'm still getting used to it. I'm also trying to do like a little bit higher mouse sensitivity so I can follow those quicker animals, and I'm just getting used to it. Okay, cool. So let's see how that's looking. Stunning. Gorgeous. Perfect. The water is coming out of the rocks into this beautiful lake. And then there's you. And then there's my problem child. Alright, let's get fixing this shit. Yeah, that needs to come way up. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, so we're gonna have to extend this. I'm gonna do that. We're gonna turn it like that. This is what I do for hours. There we go. Okay, okay, so that area is now better. This section. Okay, one thing I want, like that. And Wacha. Why did I immediately think like Kerchow? Fucking cars. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to just like place more rocks in this area. And I'm gonna have to fill in this bottom area. I'm just gonna have to do it. Okay. Lightning McQueen! Kerchow! The stuff that ends up rooting inside brains, especially like, I saw that movie a handful of times over a decade ago now. And it still has such a hold in my brain. It still takes up so much space. Rent-free. Because, like, I also think of, like, the concept of cars. Because, like, there's tractors, which are cows, which are actively farmed. But the cars run on oil, so it's like, okay, so they use the tractor cows who eat grass to make oil that they then pump into the other cars. And like car anatomy also makes no sense. And there's just a lot of things about about the Cars universe that makes no sense. Especially now that it's extended into like planes and airplanes and helicopters and all that. I want construction and like it just doesn't make sense. The Cars universe is a monstrosity. Which way is this foot? Which way do I have you facing? There we go. Like that. Like that. Put it back a little like that. And then like that, have it poking out of the rocks also here, because it's coming through the rocks. Oh, look at how pretty that looks! Oh, it looks so pretty! Okay, let's do the murky bottom. Sink that a little so it's nice and deeper. This is shallow, so we're not going to have as crazy rapids. Up higher. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Now that's a fucking waterfall. Anthropods? No. No, I refuse. I refuse that cars are anthropods. Also, like the fact that religion, because like the Pope is canonically in cars. So like, that must mean there's a car Jesus. And like, but how did they nail the car to the cross? How did he, and like, in the original, like, Jesus atoned for our sins and like sweat blood, did he like sweat oil out of his metal body? I don't know. I have so many questions about the car universe. And I've learned so many things that are just like, people on TikTok are like, I'm going to do a deep dive into this one part of cars. And I'm like, you know too much about this. I love it. I'm going to listen. And I absorb that knowledge. And it stays in my head. Can I remember what I did yesterday? Can I remember where I set my phone down? I mean, my phone's currently right in front of me. But I constantly, like, I will set it down, walk away, and then look for it for 30 minutes. Right, right now you thought it brings up so many questions. The Cars universe makes no sense. There's a Pope, which must mean there's a car Jesus. There's also like airplanes and helicopters, but like we don't see them in the Cars, like in the first couple Cars movies, so like they're not super common. And like what purpose does like a hospital helicopter have in a universe where everyone's cars? Why does a human hospital helicopter exist? Also, like, why does the Pope exist? Just like in general, but why does it exist in the Cars world? Okay, we're gonna okay, moving on from the car stand. The shit I get distracted by. Oh boy. Okay, so like our waterfall, this, besides like don't ignore the not done area. This area, fantastic, beautiful. Let's just admire that again. Stunning. So we're just gonna blend and complete this area here. I need actual full mossy rocks. Give me the rocks. Did you know that some companies make edible chocolate rocks for the sole purpose of they know there's people who want to eat rocks? I admire those people. They know exactly what type of degenerates we are. But like also, one of the only reasons that we like eat salt and like salt in its various forms is because that's like, one, it is something we need, but there's other like rocks and minerals we need. We just decided that's the one that tastes good. So I suggest that we eat every type. We like find a way to powder and grind up every type of consumable rock and use it in cooking, and truly see once and for all which rock is the best for cooking. Who knows? There could be tastier rocks out there. No one has been brave enough to try, though. Eat the rocks. Watch, it turns out fossils are actually really delicious, and this spurs like a whole, don't eat fossils, they're part of our history, we need them to study. Don't eat the fossils campaign. Oh, I can see it happening. We are in the most cursed timeline. Nothing surprises me anymore. When my partner told me, and I looked this up later to fact check, 100% true, Elon Musk tweeted that if anything should happen to him, like if something like if he gets, murked, Twitter belongs to Mr. Beast. And just, we are truly in the most cursed timeline. Eat rocks! Eat rocks! Can't tell me not to eat. I will eat rocks. Listen, salt is a rock. We eat salt. Can't tell me salt is the only tasty rock. There has to be other tasty rocks, and I'm going to find them. I'm going to find the other tasty rocks. Maybe lava rocks are really tasty. Never know until you blitz up a lava rock and use it in cooking. Although I guess I should also start looking at, like, if I was realistically going to do that, I would have to see like what rocks are like water soluble. They might be good in cooking. They might not be good on their own. They might be good in cooking, though. Never know. Never know. Okay. This is almost. Let's just get a couple more rocks in here. Speaking of rocks. Also, I know I mentioned like a bimbo playlist a couple weeks back now, I think. Oh gosh, goes by way too fast. I've started making a Thembo playlist, and it's like everything from like sex to uh fuck the patriarchy, the lived experience of femfolk sucks. It's everything from like I want to feel great to like angry rage against the machine. It's very good. I'll send you the link after stream. All right. Give me the big rocks. They're so much easier to just build off of. Like, look at that. So perpy. It's like, make sure that didn't... Oh, this is already rocked up, so that should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Although, what is this? What are you? Why are you? Actually, that might be a cute little place for, like, a tapir to, like, curl up in. So... You may stay, random nook. Okay, cool. Just need like 1 or 2 more rocks in this area just to round it out. Who just jumped? Hello, my problem child. Get down, go away. And then... I set her down. She just props at me, ricochets off the back of my chair onto where she's not supposed to be. And she just lays there, grooming herself. Rat. Okay, that looks fantastic. That looks great. This area is looking amazing. Bam, 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 bam. Ugh. So I'm just gonna get some food into me. My hunger meter has been broken more than usual. Normally I can be like, oh, I'm starting to get hungry. Lately, hunger meter is so broken. I don't know I'm actually hungry until I am so hungry. It is physically painful, and I'm like upchucking from like being so, my stomach being so empty. So my head is so empty I forget to eat. Hunger meter broken. Look how pretty that, like, look at how pretty that is. I'm also completely sober, so I have no excuse for how distracted I keep getting. I forgot to grab my pen this morning and just haven't gone to grab it yet. I need a flat. There we go. I want this one. Just gonna shovel more yogurt into my mouth. Give me a second. So yeah, I took a bite, and then suddenly the hunger meter was like, my stomach was like, ah, yes, we are now going to send signals that we are actually hungry. It's like, thanks, stomach. Oh, look how nice that looks. Look how nice. Let's finish up right here. And then for the most part, except for like this section, the waterfall will be, like, the hardscaping will be done. Cute little shits. And actually something I want to do, I actually want to buy the animals right now. I know that seems a little weird, but when I buy them and they're in the enclosure, I can just like click on them, and it just makes every like figuring out stuff easier. So before we even like put anything else in, I'm gonna get the animals, and we're gonna continue hardscaping. Because yeah, this is going to take a while. Nice enclosures don't come quickly, unfortunately. So, okay, I just looked at how many animals they can live with, and I'm 2 to 5, up to 5 females, up to 5 males. Animal trading. Binturong. It's silver. We're gonna grab that pretty boy then. Then we're gonna grab a couple pretty girls. Ooh. Sorry, I just want as many like higher level ones as possible. So 1, 2, 3. So we gotta get rid of. Why can't I like quick trade? There we go. That's another glitch that's been happening, is sometimes you buy animals and then they won't allow you to quick trade them out. You can only put them in your zoo. But so these are going to be our popcorn bears. They got the pretty boy here, Ramalan. Ramalan. And then we got Susil, Tria, Rara, and Ningrum for our girls. Why is my dog barking? Malaysian Tapir, how many can they live up? Okay, so we're only going to have 2. Malaysian Tapir. Ooh, and look at that. We got a really pretty girl named Wening. And then Panuta for the boy. So those are going to be our 2 Malaysian Tapirs. And then let's look at our sun bear. One to 2, okay. Oops. Sun bear. Ooh, we got a pretty girl. And let's get this boyo. So we're going to have Ananda for our girl and Kayono for our boy. And so this are our animals. Of course, the main one being the Binturong. And then these cuties. Boop. Delivery is scheduled. Perfect. We also have no staff, I just realized, to actually take care of our animals. So, my zoo closed. No one gets to come in. Caretaker. Couple caretakers. Couple keepers. I don't think we need anything. We need a vet right now. Okay, cool. Alright. Back to hardscaping. I have a song stuck in my head that is all about how, like, the song is sung from the perspective of, like, a female dominant who is talking about how one of her partners goes around and fools with the boys, but always comes back to her. And, you know, like, there's a line in there that's like, she wears a collar with my name. She doesn't have any shame. Like, she doesn't hide the fact that she's in, like, a relationship. And the boys are dumb. And don't care. And then get hurt. And then they laugh about it after. And it's like, nice. Anyways, I have that song currently stuck in my head. Can I get the... that looks too square to me. It looks too boxy. I don't like it. I believe that song is also on my playlist. All right. We're actually getting somewhere. Oh my goodness. Let's just admire that one for... Okay, let's finish hardscaping down here and then up the side of this, like, a mountain, quote unquote. We're also just gonna add some, like, flat ones here. I find it just helps that everything look, like, these heavily rocked areas look a lot more natural, a lot less just, like, inserted for the sake of being pretty. Which I accept is allowed to exist for the sole purpose of being pretty. That is totally acceptable. Just not in my zoo. In my zoo. Especially in enclosures. We don't get to just look pretty. I want more naturalistic enclosures. All right. Come on, come on. Give me the pretties. Bam! Yeah, that helps. And, like, the rocks will extend further on in eventually, but that just helps to start blending things together. All right. Oh, I'm actually getting really burnt out on just, like, rocks, to be honest. I think I want to start doing, like, the detail work on the enclosure just to give myself a bit of a break. And this honestly just might end up being a two-parter with wanting to make, like, multi-species, bigger, more natural, like, better quality enclosures, and also just making a really nicer zoo. It might just be something that happens over multiple streams. But right now, let's see our babies. Let's see. The babies. Give me the babies. I demand them. Babies. Oh my goodness, they're all stacked on top of each other. Oh my god, the tapir is bigger than the bear. I love it so much. Oh, hello, bear. Oh, hello. So there's one of our bears. I think this is the boy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I am. Oh my. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he? Oh my goodness, you're so zoom. You're so zoom. Why you zoom? Why you zoom, little one? What? And then just meandering, just existing. Oh, so good. Oh, there is our female bear and a couple more of our popcorn bears. So we still have a tapir and one more bear. Let's just get... Did one already climb? Oh, I thought one climbed up here. That was... Oh, it did! Oh, look at it. Oh, look at you doing the climbing. Oh, look at you doing the climbing. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, hello, birds. This is also what I do when I'm streaming. I just coo at the animals even though they cannot hear me. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, it's awesome. Did you know you're adorable? Did you know you smell like popcorn? Did you know that you probably smell great? And let's see if we can get a good shot. Yeah, Look at that beautiful crest. Oh, oh, oops. Where'd you go? Where you go, bears? Look at that beautiful crest. Oh, there we go. Oh, why are you walking down this way? Bears, please. And they're such small bears. Oh my goodness. How could anyone ever harm these precious creatures? Okay. And as you can see, it is a massive enclosure for these animals. That's also something I do, is just massive. They're pretty happy. Yeah, we have all their enrichment good. All their enrichment's good. Species food enrichment, none. I thought we had food enrichment for the burrs. What? See, this is also why I want them in. Because I don't want to start like heavily planting and planting everything when I'm missing food enrichment. Is that not what? Am I misremembering what the... Call Sunbear. Oh, there's a space. I apologize, Zoo Tycoon. There we go. Species enrichment. Okay, foraging wall. Oh, I wonder if these... It needs to be pretty deep, so that probably isn't deep enough. Yeah, okay. Let's do frozen block of fish. A foraging wall over our guests can see. And then let's put a bamboo feeder up here. Okay. That should make our sun bears a lot happier. I am so sorry I forgot food enrichment for y'all. Where's a burr? There's a burr. Yay! They happy. Excellente. Are they about to go swimming? Please tell me the bears are going to swim. I know this has been closed for a long time. I really don't care. Please swim. Please, please do a swim. Oh! Look at the little paddling. Oh, look at those claws. Oh, someone had to go to the vet. Who are you stealing? What did you just steal? Oh no, Tria's injured. I think Tria did come from another zoo too. Where did Tria come from? Doesn't say, but she was already in rough shape. So she's gonna go get vet care. The bears are swimming in. Perfect, yeah. Huge enclosure. I have a habit of making enclosures also way too big. And then just having way too much to decorate. Like, it's fine though. It's fine. And we've been going for 2 hours now. So I'm gonna take just like a 5 to 10 minute bio break, stretch my legs, all that good stuff. And then we'll be back to further decorate the home for all our cuties. I just can't get over the fact that the tapir are bigger than the bears. I wonder if tapir ever beat up bears. Because, like, pure muscle. Probably could. But they all get along in this nice enclosure. So, I will, yeah, leave you with a cute photo of a sun bear. And I'll be back in like 5-10 minutes. I have returned. I have more delicious yogurt. Shove into my face hole. All right, let's go back into making an awesome enclosure for our babies. Probably gonna go for another hour or so on stream, finish the rest off stream, and then film the video from each like species perspective, and then that will be edited together and will be released tomorrow. And that's what I'm gonna start doing for all the animals that we do here at the zoo. Is after stream, if there's anything left to be finished for like the enclosure, I'll finish that up, do the recordings, and then the video will be released tomorrow. So still getting 4 like ASMR-ish videos a week, just no longer doing 7 a week, because that was intense and way too fucking much. Yogurt. So good, okay. I do think I want to finish like around this area. Normally what I've started doing is I'll really focus on one area, get it good, and then go on to like the next major area and then fill in between. So I think that's how I'm going to do it here. Definitely need more grass. Can I hit the right button? So with all this dirt, we need more grass. And this will mainly get replaced with long grass as areas get finished for that like extra layer of detail is the word I'm looking for. Good lord, my brain. I was also hoping to do videos with like the enclosure cameras. The issue is within the static sounds for the cameras, they have like really high pitched whines and that, and I've tried a couple times. It really only works underwater. So I might experiment with doing that with like dolphins, because dolphins make a lot of noise, and then the water noise with the noise from the camera, you can't hear the high pitch ones when it's underwater. It doesn't have that noise. So I'm thinking that might be a workaround, but also we'll see. Is that just floating? Okay, I'll have to put stuff under it. That's fine. Just want to detail up the ground before I start doing stuff, and that way I don't have to worry about it. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Sweet, okay. Details. So first, we need to do what's going to be on the rocks. What's going to be on the top? I think I want 1 or 2 trees coming off of it. And then, because like you're not going to have thick foliage. You're going to have stuff in the cracks, 1 or 2 trees, and that's basically it. I also think I want to focus more on like a bamboo forest type of feel versus anything else. Then we could do an actual cherry blossom, like not actual, it is an actual, but like a living one. There we go. Oh my goodness, I swear. Oh, this one right up here. with like the roots hanging down, like the roots coming through the rock. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. Okay. And then that's a nice big one that we can put like right up here. Yep. That's really all this top needs. Couple big trees where they would, because like nothing would be growing in the center area, nothing big like that. Okay, let's go with oh, we could do vines. Hmm? So we could do vines. We could also do vine curtains. There's also big vines. Could do. There's also, where are the tree roots? Strangler figs, because we have to have strangler figs. It was mentioned right in the Binturong stuff, so we have to have strangler fig stuff. And I think I really like layering the strangler fig roots with other trees. So, because when you do it like that, it looks like their roots are literally coming out of the tree, and I really like that. There's also like this giant one that I still have not learned how to use effectively. Kind of looks like feet, which I really like. But yeah, so we're just gonna start adding like the big details. So just like that. Yeah. Dogs, I don't know what you're getting into, but you need to cease immediately. Thank you. So yeah, this tree is like spreading through little cracks in the rocks. And that's how we get all these cool roots. This one, I think I'm going to leave basically as is. And just do like a couple vine tendril. Can I do it off the tree? Can I do it off the fucking tree? Is that, no. Okay. I'm not going to fight with it. Yes, hello, Abby? What do you want? What? What? Shush! I'm going! I'm streaming! Go away! No, I'm streaming. Hi. What? What do you want? What do you want? I'm being harassed by a dog. Send help. Send help. It's raining? Good thing I got the mowing done. I was planning on doing it after stream, but my partner was a doll and moved everything for me so I could do it before stream. I'm glad I did. Okay, cool. Back to the trees. I don't know. I'm kind of liking the more minimal look around the rocks, to be honest. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't think these vines come down long enough. Like, they just kind of look short and silly. Yeah. Like, even these long ones, they come halfway. But that's basically all we, like, I don't know. I don't think they have, like, a good, like, there's nowhere to really put them where they sit nicely, I think is my issue. So I don't think I'm going to do the vines. I don't think I'm going to do the ivy. temperate has a lot of like more North American stuff rather than Abby, shut it. Rather than Asian temperate. So I find, I don't know, using a lot of the temperate stuff I find takes away from that like jungle feel and makes it more feel like a North American forest, which I don't like. I do want to focus more on bamboo and palms along with the cherry blossoms, because that's like what I saw in the pictures was a lot of palm trees. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh. Went away. A lot of bamboo, and then a couple trees like the cherry tree and the mangrove. So I'm gonna mainly focus on that, and there might also be some. Where are they? These really pretty Himalayan birch trees. 'Cause I mean, like, they fit in nice. I haven't brought chocolate. I haven't eaten the toast I was given. I should eat my toast. Yeah, I think what I want to do with this, because what I saw from the photos was it was like a lot of thick trees within wide open, very sparse areas. And so I think I want to make the areas where like the enrichments are, the climbing stuff, be that more sparse with just like a couple trees, and then make heavy forested like bamboo forests in between. Also, back to the tapir, I believe tapir should start beating up bears and claim supremacy over Malaysian jungles. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty... I want to add a couple smaller plants and stuff like in these cracks, because that's something I noticed is even if everything else is very sparse, right in the cracks where water really flows, even if there's no active water source, life is just sort of springing up from the cracks. And not super liking how the alpine looks. Let's try maybe a fuzzier alpine. It's just not dense enough. And I mean, the small ones are alright. But if you just do it like that, like that's very repetitive. And I did notice like even if it's just there's really no dirt, you'll have like a giant plant just in like a little crevice like this. So let's put a couple bird's nests up in these rocky bits. There we go. Jim, I don't know what you think you're doing. Trying to sneak up onto my computer while I'm streaming. But now you're going to get squished. Yeah, you're just going to get squished now. What do you have to say? You want to tell everyone what you have to say about that? No? You're full of nothing? No protest this time? Okay, goodbye. I really like brackens. They make such a good forest floor covering when you layer them with the lady ferns and even with the brambles. They layer really well to create a beautiful, thick, luscious, like jungle carpet that looks very layered. So, just a little thing. want too many of these. I tend to put too many and then they really take away from everything. So we're just gonna have... Ah, no, I said no. Just angle that. So it actually looks like it's growing out of there. Okay, cool, bye. Okay. One or two more things and then this will be done. Like I said, I don't want to go too heavy. I want to go heavier, sort of where like the thick jungle, bamboo jungle part is going to be. All right, and then it's just to find something that will look good creeping out of the rocks, which like that's not it. That's not it. I think these bushes are too big. What about, oh, could the vines actually work? Like in between the rocks? I don't know, how do we feel about that? Also what I've been using is these bushes. So could do that, or I could be doing what I've done for other enclosures where it's like that. Could also do a mix of both. You know, use the early suggestion of layering and do both. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay. So we're going to first do the ivy, and then we'll layer the bushes in. Okay, it's not actually peeking through. Then we'll layer the bushes in and create, again, Legos. Currently listening to my partner bitch to someone about how you need to respect neopronouns. Okay, and then we can get it going like that. Hello? I don't want random weather. I want sunny all the time, and I need my sun right there. Thank you. Is there a smaller one? It's like out of the butt crack of this rock. Okay, and then we use that, and we just get it like, oh, yes. See, and that is still quite minimal while looking very jungly. Apparently, the motto, why not both, is just I don't want to go too heavy on it though. Like I said, do want to keep it more minimal. And then in this crack here, and like overflowing there. Yep. Yep. So now we just need to do that detailing over here, and and then we'll have to do a bit of detailing inside, and then we'll be completely done this area. All right, so that is our finished, at least the top of our shelter area. And I have to say, I like it. I like it a lot. I do feel like it's missing something. Should we just add? I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it really completes it. Leaf litter. I actually have, or at least I did. I might have turned it off. But there's no actual like leaf litter like in game right now. But it's must be one of the things I turned off because I was like mods are ruining my life. So unfortunately cannot do any like leaf litter. Could though. That kind of looks like leaf litter. If we do it shallow and sporadic. Oh, it perfect. It perfect. And it needs nothing else. Although like leaf litter detailing would be cool if I had it. 100%. Oh, okay. So now let's do the rock. So we do have to do some of the rock detailing down the sides and inside. And I just want to get, I think, inside done first. But also, maybe I'll just leave it as is. I don't know. I'm kind of really happy with it. I might need to have to do it down just to help blend it in with the rest of everything. But overall, I'm actually really happy with this. I think I want to map out the really dense areas now. Because the dense areas are not going to have the same sort of ground coverage as the open areas will. The open areas are going to have that dense layered ground coverage, and then the other area it's going to be different. So, or what I could do actually, I changed my mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create my ground coverage and map it out that way. So, y'all will get to see how I've been creating my ground coverage for a lot of different videos that I've been doing. So first I'm just going to come to a flat area, do short grass so I can properly see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start with this bracken. I like to start out with this like thinner, more to the ground one. Just sort of. And this is roughly the size I make it. Then I go with a thicker one, and I start and then I go with these ones. Just sort of fill that in. Step 1 complete. We're then going to go down to our ferns. Beautiful lady ferns. And layer them in. I like to put them where the other ferns are a little more sparse. And then I like to do some big bushier ones. And then these ones have a bit of a different color. So I like to add these ones normally a little taller. And so that is our multi-fern coverage. From there, where are you? I then take nice thick bramble bushes of various sizes and various like shallows and depths. And just kind of like this. And there we have it. We have a very basic, dense jungle floor. To this, I will then add things like, when it's placed, I will make sure other plants are sunk in and blended in with this, but this is the base. At least for my jungle. I also always merge it into a group. And then I'll start doing this. So I'll make sure it's level with like a pretty low point. Sink it in. And kind of go from there. So I want it like right here. And I can also go in and see how these plants are sort of like popping out where they shouldn't be. I can go and just manually delete those from the group. And also for these like smaller raised areas where I really can't get much in there, I'll just go in and manually do it. This just makes it easier, I find, for mapping out areas and starting to figure out what I want. These more uneven ones are harder to do this way, just because like they aren't even as shit. So they require a lot of sinking. But again, this is just to help me map out more where I want these areas to be. Oh, I need to go down to see if... Okay. I want that to be more open. And not, like, really covered at all. Areas like that where water would naturally collect. That's also what I mean by like more naturalistic enclosures, is I'm trying to place plants more like how they would actually grow. So like, especially in these areas, would have dense foliage and ground cover. Alright, I'm almost done mapping this out. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go through now and just... Oh, bamboo! So we have Bengal bamboo and we also have fountain bamboo. Fountain bamboo is smaller and bushy as shit. So that's gonna be the base of our like bamboo forest. I'm going to do a much smaller one so that I have better control over everything. So that with some big Bengal bamboo mixed in. Oh, Jesus, dogs. And then yeah, just start inserting that where it needs to go. Sorry about my dogs. They're being babies. And what's nice about this is because I sunk it so low, I can do it as tall as this, or I can even do this if I wanted. Let's see, how do I like that? How do I feel? I really like that actually. Okay. Proof of concept. Done. Okay, I'm gonna delete everything over here. Now because I don't want, because it is a small thing and I don't want that repeating constantly, this was mainly just for like a proof of concept. Would it actually look nice? It does. It's nice and thick. And so that's how the rest of it is going to look. Dogs, shush. So we can really start to see how this is going to shape up. We're going to have these nice thick areas of bamboo, areas with this really nice fern foliage, and then we are going to have open areas, and that's where I'm going to put more like sand and mud. And so we're going to have this nice mixture of heavy forest, light forest, or heavy jungled, Abby shush, heavy jungle, light jungle, no jungle, just like their actual enclosures would, or habitat would have. I'm just going to clean this up very quickly. Abby, I need you to chill about 13%. Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation in this matter. She came and is now laying on my feet. All right. So, let's get started. Just having, I can like see exactly where I want everything in my head, but translating that can be a little difficult at times. So I'm just gonna start just in a corner and go from there. We also want to leave a lot of this open so that guests can see inside, and we will be adding, because this is going to be a more heavily forested, jungled area, we are going to be adding habitat cameras. So let's go in with the fountain bamboo. Fountain. Yeah, this is like the general idea. Heavy with like some open areas for, you know, them to wander boot. And then fill it in. Might just have to do a smaller portion. Here, let's take this. Can I break it up into a group? I can't. Once it is a group of forever, that's fine. I think I have most of it loved or saved, however you want to say it. So that's a lady fern. Where is my bracken? There's my bracken. Because then we can and the ferns. So yeah, can really get the idea of how this is going to shape up and look now. So we have the heavily bambooed areas, and then we have the fern areas, and then we have other plants. Like I said, I want to go with the palms, and I really like these lipstick palms. They just add such a nice pop of color. Okay, before I really get ham on... Oh, that looks so nice. I do want to place a couple more hardscapes. Which way did it? Oh, no, I did the wrong one. Hit the wrong button, as usual. So do that. So adding details like this, that everything is around, also helps with that layering. And if I remember correctly... Where are you? Where are you? There it is! There's also, like, giant vinyl logs that we can just... I need at least a bit out so I can do this. No, not the right way. So it can be used like that. It can also just be... like that. There we go. Got a couple more of these dead cherry trees. All right, it is really shaping up. It is actually really starting to come together. Okay, I'm going to focus on getting little areas done now. Something I've also been doing, which I know that animals don't actually follow it, but I've been leaving like less planted paths, where like realistically, if this was a real zoo and the animals behaved 100% realistically, there would be these paths. So I've also been trying to make sure I also include those. Again, more natural. Oh, but I am starting to feel awful for some reason. I just got hit with like a awful wave of like nausea and like heat, which is weird because I have been eating. So I think I'm actually gonna lay down. I will post pictures of this when I am done, and like I said, the video will be up tomorrow. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might change it to that this week's animals come out next week. I think that would just be better for my sanity. So I will save this. Old Stream Zoo. I'm so mad about the other zoo. Stream Zoo 2.0 is what it's called. Alright, thank you everyone for joining in today. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry last week didn't work out. I ended up enjoying myself. But yeah, I look forward to Sleepy Sunday. I will see folks in the Discord who are in the Discord. And I will be posting lots of photos. And if y'all see me just like chilling in voice, feel free to hop in and say hi. Because most likely I am just sitting there doing rocks for hours. Or like plants for hours. And oftentimes it helps to have like people to natter to while I do that. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you on Sunday for Sleepy Sunday.